This video is intended for adult collectors or adults who want a nostalgia fix, not for kids. Although children may appear in this video, they are in it for review purposes only. If you are a child, please make sure to get your parents' permission before watching and make them watch it with you.
¿Qué onda? This Héctor El Chido Canal is bringing you a quick unboxing review of WWE Mattel's Ultimate Edition Hollywood Hulk Hogan! Because it's Ultimate Edition packaging, you've got this real clear view of the figure and its many accessories. On the side, you got a picture of Hollywood Hogan. On the other side, you got just his name. On the back of the packaging, you got this great display of the figure. A picture of the real Hollywood Hogan. Small little stats on the side. And at the bottom, you got a small little bio of how Hollywood Hogan came about. Let's take one last look at this packaging. It's phenomenal. It's beautiful. I've always liked them, but we're just gonna have to see if I like the figure inside. The Bret Hart, oh man, I was anticipating that one, and it was a bit of a disappointment because of that hair. Let's see if we get anything that we can complain about with this Hogan. If I'm not mistaken, this is not one of the best moments for Hollywood Hogan in WCW. This looks like one of the pictures that was taken from that time that Vince Russo and Jeff Jarrett screwed over Hulk Hogan. This is in just pristine condition. Let's just unbox it already. And look at that. Since we got them right here, let's go ahead and let's smell it. It smells fantastic. It smells really good. It smells like brand new toy. And since it has all these accessories, it's a very strong new toy smell. And I love it. We'll try out his accessories later. Right now, let's just focus in on the figure itself. I'm actually speechless as to how good this figure looks. This figure's just really good. But there is something that kind of rattles in there. Compared to other figures, it doesn't weigh as much, surprisingly. The inside seems very, very hollow and kind of thin. Let's take this bandana off. Paint smudge right there. Look at that face, though. I mean, it's not the Hollywood face. Maybe it is if we put those glasses on him. We'll try it out a little later. Let's take a look at his articulation at the head. Super articulation at the shoulders. It's got that butterfly articulation. Double jointed elbows. Wrist ab articulation. It goes back really nice, but it doesn't go forward much. Waist hip articulation. Thigh articulation. Double jointed knees. Boot articulation, ankle articulation, and just like every Jakks figure, man, ankle doesn't really move, and that toe articulation. With the sunglasses on, he looks more like Hollywood. Let's try out the other heads. One of the things I'm really enjoying about these Ultimate Edition figures is the likeness of these figures. It's like having little mini Hulk Hogan's right in the living room. And just look at the eyes. And from all three heads, this might be my favorite one. And it looks like they were trying to pull a WWF Hasbro figures and give Hulk Hogan just a little more hair than he actually had. That looks awful. That's the one thing I don't like about the paint application on their heads. Like, the rest is really good. That like beard that they give them is really good. Of course, the eyes look fantastic, but that hair on the back and the mustache just a little, there's like blotches, especially on my favorite one. Seems to be blotches because of all the articulation given to these figures. They lose a little bit of the realism to them, or at least just the way they look, you know. Like, yeah, I could do better poses. Look at this, oh, that's cool. But then just leaving them like this, his shoulders look a little flat. He looks more like 2004 Hulk Hogan and less like 1997 Hulk Hogan. He looks a little flat.
Like he's on an off cycle?
It still looks good. It's just, it doesn't look as good as it could if it didn't have all that articulation.
taking a look at that weightlifting belt, it fits just a little awkward. Like if you put it over where it says Hollywood on the front, it just goes below his tights a bit. And then if you try to align it, like put it perfectly right here, it unaligns back here. It's almost like I'd rather have him not be wearing it. His tights look perfect. It does remind me of Jack's 2002 NWO Hulk Hogan. Knee pads. I wish it would have had the knee pads that he wore, if they would have put in that little extra detail, especially if it's supposed to be an Ultimate Edition. They don't even have to write bike, just if they would have had that white stripe going along. Now let's take a look at those boots. Just the sides look incredible. Those small little NWO symbols on the inside. And that just makes it perfect. Hogan's face right on those boots. Jack's, they did it. And it just added so much realism. Just made that figure so much better. We'll quickly look through all the accessories and then put them on Hogan. And here are the sunglasses. They're pretty thin. The weightlifting belt with some great detail on it. I mean, this looks like a leather belt. And they're reusing some pieces here. This is from 2014. Here's Hogan's bandana. I wish they would have put the thunderbolts on this bandana. The feather boas, which are hollow on the inside. It doesn't matter. They still look good. And yes, they are from a previously released Hulk Hogan. So that's at least 2 pieces they've reused. But heck, as long as we get an accurate Hollywood Hogan. You have the gloved hands, fists, and the open hands. This is before the fingers started like getting all messed up and he had to cut some of them. The NWO shirt, it's supposed to tear from the front. And that whole tear from the front kind of messes up the look of it. Let's see if we can align it so it says NWO. So yeah, it kind of messes it up just a little. Oh, look at that. It's got the Hogan tears on the back of the shirt. That's really nice detail. Nice and thin, it's almost see-through. And here's the WCW Championship belt with the NWO spray painted on it. The plates look, kind of crappy there. But the front plate looks good. Another reused piece from 2010. Now let's put all the pieces together and let's display this Hogan.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
As you guys can see, he looks real good. But is there a chance that he'll look better with one of these heads?
And just like he's posed in the back of the box, with that same head. I took the feather bows off because they were getting in the way, knocking his bandana off. It does look better than the first head. He's more serious. Now for my favorite one. And this one looks fantastic as well. It's like a head for every occasion. This is by far my favorite head that they gave Hollywood Hogan. The way he's animated. And I love that they gave him 2 extra heads. Yeah, they're giving all the other guys 2 extra heads as well. But the difference in each one is big. It's the same person, but it's just the expressions are so much better. And one thing I gotta say about that shirt is I'm glad it's cloth. Because I've got a Hulk Hogan that I've had him there posed for a while. And I noticed that he wasn't just play tearing his shirt. He was actually tearing his shirt now, since it's made out of plastic. But this thing being made out of cloth, I don't think I'm gonna have that problem. This is the best Hogan I quite honestly can say that's ever been made. I know there's been a third-party maker that made Hogan's while he was suspended from the WWE. I mean, if you want something that goes along with the rest of your collection, you've got to get this Hogan. $30, yeah, get yourself this Hogan. Because when you're NWO for life. Thanks for joining us on this quick unboxing review of WWE Mattel's Hollywood Hulk
Hogan, and join us again on the next retro review of the 1985 LJN 16-inch Hulk Hogan!